that. But yet we can't talk about the insidious nature of a Louis Farrakhan. Can't even bring it up. And if you do, then you're a racist. Then you're a bigot. You're anti-Muslim. The hypocrisy is what needs to stop. And when we come back, folks, we're going to talk to Pawl Bazile and see what he says about all this. Again, we always encourage you to bring out your brain and talk about first-hand information. I want to go beyond the headlines with you, beyond what the mainstream media has said to you about the Proud Boys, and let's explore exactly what they are, who they are, what they stand for, and all the rest, straight from the horse's mouth, and then you decide what you believe. Gene Berardelli, Behind Enemy Lines. We'll be back right after these brief words. Behind Enemy Lines.
I'm voting in the midterm elections because
my constitutional right,
because my ancestors died.
To make it better for my children.
The women before me fought.
So we can remain free.
Helping your community out.
Midterm election.
I know every vote makes a difference.
My opinion matters.
I vote.
I vote.
I vote in the midterm election.
Register now on IamAvoter.com. And don't forget to vote Tuesday, November 6th.
Brought to you by I Am a Voter and the Ad Council.
If you're a long-time listener of the show, or maybe this is your first time listening, you can probably tell that me and the gang here, we like to have our share of fun, whether it's on or off the air. We talk about 2-drink minimum radio and no medication Wednesdays or whatever day it may be. That's why when we found the people at Less Government, More Fun, we knew it was a match made in heaven with this show. Folks, we live in a time where government is out of hand. Our founding fathers did not intend government to be all-consuming in all parts of our lives. That's why we are telling you to go to lessgovmorefun.com, check out the website, check out the swag. What the people want is less government, more fun. Pass it on, make it happen. Behind Enemy Lines Radio is all about being right. No, seriously, it is. If you ever listen to Russ Gallo or me go back and forth on some issue, we always want to make sure that we remember who said what and when we said it. That's why we go to goonrecord.com. It's a brand new social media website. Challenge people on what they believe, whether it's in politics, sports, entertainment, finance, whatever. There's a category for you at goonrecord.com. Check it out right now. Tell us, what do you stand for? It's time for you to go on record. Behind Enemy Lines. Gene Berardelli, back behind Enemy Lines. Join me on the line right now. A good friend of the show. We actually met at an election party for President Donald Trump. He's a member of the Proud Boys, and he is a fantastic friend. Pawl Bazile. Paul, how you doing, pal?
Good, man. How you doing, Gene? How are things on your end?
Things are great on this end, but you know what? It's got to be a little controversial for people to hear me say that I'm friends with a Proud Boy. Why is that so controversial nowadays?
Because people read the paper. And the problem is the paper lies. So if people are only hearing one thing beaten over their head over and over again, and they don't actually read anything that has to do with who the Proud Boys are, they might get a horrible, horrible impression of us, because I know I would. If the only information I had about the Proud Boys was from reading Huffington Post and The Gothamist and New York Times, I absolutely would feel like the Proud Boys are abhorrent. But because I'm involved in it, and because I've been around since the beginning, it's actually kind of shocking to me, the way we're getting painted, to the point where I've questioned my own paranoia about it.
Well, I would think anybody would question that, and probably their own sanity as well. So since there's all this misinformation out there, tell us what the Proud Boys are.
Right. The Proud Boys are, and by the way, just the fact that I have said this over and over again, because I run Proud Boy magazine at officialproudboys.com, so people come to me all the time for the media stuff, and now it's being spun that we are not what we say we are, which is a politically incorrect social club for men that wants to promote American values and the culture of ideas and libertarianism. Like, that's pretty much it. And by the way, libertarianism in the loosest definition that you could possibly have, it's basically a patriotic men's social club that's politically incorrect and likes to go and drink beer. And that's all we ever were. And in the election night where me and you met, we had a great time. We were pretty much the only party in town that night that was celebrating Trump in New York City. And we didn't think we were going to win, and most people didn't think we were going to win. And we thought, hey, this club is important because we have to, stick together and hang together in the wake of, what we're all being told is Hillary's going to blow us all out of the water and everything like that. And and it turned out we won, which really hurt a lot of people's ego in a big, big way, who try to live in this abstract land of what are the Proud Boys? Who are they? What are their intentions? What are they doing? Are they militant? Are they this? Are they Nazis? And it has happened so often, there's more stories about what people think we are than what we actually are. And most people don't actually even contact us to report on the truth.
So then let's get right down to it. When everybody thinks about the reporting of the Proud Boys, they see and they hear about violent altercations. Why are the Proud Boys such a magnet for violence then?
Well, Gene, have you ever had a Friday night that's so good the governor yells at you?
No comment, but yeah. I've had a few nights, let's just say that.
Well, here's the thing. The Proud Boys, if you notice, there's never really been a Proud Boy rally or something like that. They try to make it there's just a rally to start trouble with, and Proud Boys are there. And they'll characterize things like the Patriot Prayer like that. The first outing we ever had was at the Deplorable, and the reason we went to the Deplorable is because there was a hit list that Antifa made. I didn't even know who Antifa was at the time, and I was kind of giggling at the prospect of, so vegans are going to put on black masks and yell at us? That's weird. And Gavin gathered around about 15 guys and said, hey, listen, they're targeting Pamela Geller, they're targeting Lauren Southern, and they said they want to throw urine and feces at them, and batteries. And there was also something exposed by Project Veritas that said they're trying to put butyric acid in the ventilation system and trying to figure out the best way to go about doing that. So we said, well, we're going to go keep the girls kind of in the middle of the circle of us and march them to the door to make sure that they don't get hurt. Somehow that got turned into, look at this military. By the way, keep in mind, about a dozen, maybe 15, 16 of us, 500 Antifa outside throwing everything that you could imagine, screaming everything you could imagine, and I watched 3 American flags get burned that day personally. They never, during that incident, turned the camera around and said, look what's going on the other side of the mob. They've kept the cameras fixed on us and said they're inciting violence by being there and existing. So our MO sort of became, if there's a speaker who wants to speak, particularly a right-wing speaker, because you don't really get left-wing speakers that are being prevented from speaking these days, nor do we want that. We say, no, you know what, people aren't going to be intimidated to go see Ann Coulter talk, or Ben Shapiro talk, or Gavin talk, when it comes to that. So we've showed up to kind of make sure these people could get into the events properly, and that's led to fighting because Antifa likes to sucker punch people from behind, isolate and gang assault people, pepper spray people like they did to Gavin personally at NYU last year, and it gets reported as Proud Boys at the center of violence, not Antifa is trying to assault the Proud Boys, which is what it is. Antifa are not these men of mystery. They make no bones about what they're trying to do. They're on the street wearing black masks, holding pick and sickle flags, and saying, if we get our hands on, a Proud Boy, Gavin McInnes, or whoever, Ann Coulter, the things we're going to do are unspeakable to them. Make no bones about that. But the media is totally on their side to the point where the media couldn't do a better job covering them than if it was run by the head of Antifa. It's actually really disturbing. Same thing with the Democratic Party in New York and how the governor's office reacted to the latest Proud Boy incident.
It's no surprise. That's no surprise from Andrew Cuomo, who said that conservatives are not welcome in the state of New York. The fact that he's getting pushed to the hard left by supporters and detractors. So that comes as no surprise that's a political calculation and a political decision. For those who don't know about the Proud Boys and choose to know more, where can they find out more information about you? Because, again, listen, full disclosure, I hung out with you guys. The most offensive thing that I saw were the Hawaiian shirts that you were wearing on election night. Other than that, Other than that, I was cool, you guys. We had women in our party. They felt safe. Where can people find out more about you? Because we encourage on this show first-hand accounting, first-hand reporting, first-hand information. Listen, we're not a news site here. You know that. We're not fair and balanced. We're looking for people to be independent thinkers, right? So if you're an independent thinker out there and you want to go beyond the headline about the Proud Boys, where do you go to look?
If you want to hear directly from the Proud Boys, Proud Boy Magazine at officialproudboys.com is our officially endorsed website by the Proud Boys, run by myself and Robert Culkin, and edited by Proud Boys and written for by Proud Boys. Also, you could check out Gavin McInnes' show on CRTV and his podcast, which you could download on iTunes. Once again, Gavin is also not a closed book abstract man of mystery. He has opinions and he'll tell you exactly what he thinks on just about every topic. And he's the founder of the Proud Boys. And he's spoken extensively on the Proud Boys. Go to YouTube and look it up if you like. And he'll tell you exactly what we are and exactly what we're not. And, and I think that that's a really important distinction, and people should do their own homework on it, and not just read what's being written in places like Think Progress.
Absolutely. Now, of course, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the increase in the rhetoric of violence and violent acts. We just saw this past week the pipe bomb mailings that went out to all these Democratic leaders, and everyone is going to paint now conservatives with a broad brush, much like they did, much like conservatives did with Bernie Sanders supporters shooting Steve Scalise, right? Of course, that didn't happen. That didn't happen at all.
Didn't stick.
Yeah, but you know what? Because people were going around saying that you can't blame one person you can't blame a group for the acts of one person. So, do you feel that?
Not to mention. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, not to mention the fact that there's a slight difference between a guy who actually volunteered for Bernie Sanders' campaign and a guy who lived in a van in Florida.
Well, they're going to equate that.
Somebody who's proactively in it and somebody who put a bumper sticker on his van, and they then will turn this around and act like, the guy's name who did it in Florida. I'm sorry, he's a new character on the scene.
Just call it Florida Man. I call it Florida Man. That's all.
Florida Man. Yeah, Florida Man. They act like Florida Man is Trump's grand cyclops, who he's the most prized MAGA person of all time. And it's like he's some weirdo living in a van in Florida who, I don't know a single Trump supporter who not only would condone what happened, but anyone who said, hey, that mailing fake bombs thing, that was an intelligent, good idea 2 weeks before a thing. It wouldn't be a good idea no matter when it would be, but the timing of it was so, terrible for Trump supporters and for Republicans and right-wingers.
Well, absolutely.
You're shooting yourself in the foot.
But here's the thing.
If you want to intimidate somebody on the other side politically by that means.
But here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it that I'm taking away from it.
Yeah.
I think the real issue here is the left has had a history of using divisive rhetoric. It's been escalated because there was a pushback starting in 2016, and that has escalated the other side. So there's been this mutual escalation of just rhetoric that people can then claim there's a causal connection to violence. But isn't it just a fact that there's crazy in the world, and that we don't know and we can't control what triggers the crazy in the world?
Right. There's people on the right who absolutely, when they do what they do, I stick my hand over my face and go, oh Jesus, because it just makes us look
many times
stupid. There's these people calling themselves citizen journalists, and their brand of journalism is just showing up to things with a selfie stick and heckling somebody and screaming in a shrill voice, and then they turn around when they're removed from the event for doing something that'll remove them from the event and say, they're against right-wingers like me. And it's like, you're a sensationalist. You're not a journalist, and you're just trying to get more followers on Twitter. And it just turns my stomach, because I'm like, you're setting us back. You're making us look like the side that, because it's going to be reported on by the left that, look what this crazy person did to Maxine Waters or whoever, and they'll turn it around and go, oh my God, look how crazy right-wingers are, and I don't want to be that. I'm a facts guy. I want to be I want my beliefs to be rooted in reality and facts, which is how I came to the conclusion of conservatism as a worldview, not because it makes me feel good, because all I